ever look up and just see something weird?
Yeah.
Something that makes you stop and think.
Happens more often than people might admit.
Well, today we're diving into exactly that. We've got an observation report from May 7th, 2025, over Tuzla in Istanbul.
Right, around 11 in the morning, a single observer, Kadir Kubashuk, documented something pretty unusual.
And our mission today is basically to unpack what he saw and, how he reasoned through it. We're looking at his personal account and analysis.
It's a fascinating snapshot, one person's detailed observation trying to make sense of the unexplained. So let's get into what he actually reported seeing.
Okay, picture this. You look up, and there's this trace. Perfectly vertical, straight up.
But not like a normal contrail.
No, exactly. The report says it was non-homogeneous. Fragmented, kind of broken up, almost dotted. And it just hung there for like half an hour.
30 minutes is a long time for something like that to persist.
And here's the really weird part. Total silence. Absolutely nothing. No boom, no engine roar, not even a vibration felt, just silence.
Which is a critical detail. And the observer apparently had a direct comparison point pretty soon after.
Yeah, about 15 minutes later, a regular passenger plane flew nearby. Left a totally normal contrail, dense, linear, continuous.
Making the first observation stand out even more, that contrast is important. The report uses it to start ruling things out.
Right, so the analysis begins. First thought, passenger plane. Or maybe a jet.
But like you said, their contrails are usually continuous lines, mostly horizontal or maybe slightly angled on takeoff or landing, not perfectly vertical and fragmented.
Doesn't fit the picture at all.
Yeah.
So, okay, what about a rocket launch?
Well, you'd expect immense light, huge amounts of sound energy, right? A big spectacle.
Definitely not silent.
And there aren't any known launch facilities right there in Tuzla. Plus, again, the vertical broken trace. It's not typical for a standard rocket burn either.
Okay, so no plane, no rocket. Military missile test.
Generally, those are launched at an angle or horizontally, and usually way out in designated test ranges, not over a major city.
And again, the silence problem. Military tests aren't exactly quiet.
Precisely. So the report dismisses that too. Then it considers things like weather balloons, meteorological probes.
But those are slow, right? They just drift. They wouldn't leave a dense, structured vertical trace like this. Maybe a wispy trail, if anything, but nothing like described.
Yeah, the visual just doesn't match. What about natural stuff? Clouds, aurora, fog, that kind of thing.
The report argues those are usually, organic shapes. Diffuse, not a sharp geometric vertical line that looks, well, almost deliberate in its fragmentation.
It seemed artificial or at least highly structured based on the description.
So after ticking off all those boxes, plane, rocket, missile, balloon, weather phenomenon, what's left on the table according to the report?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. With the conventional explanations not fitting the facts, the report moves towards unidentified flying object, a UFO.
It's the logical endpoint if nothing known explains it, I suppose.
Exactly. And from there, the report speculates a bit, trying to conceptualize what could cause such an effect.
Like what kind of ideas?
One idea is some kind of vertical energy release, but fragmented and silent. It hints at maybe a propulsion system we just don't understand. Maybe something that pulses. Or like a stop-start mechanism.
Huh. Propulsion without noise and in bursts.
Yeah.
That's definitely not conventional.
No. Another angle mentioned is optical or frequency camouflage.
Meaning the object itself might have been invisible.
Potentially. And what was seen was just how this invisible object, whatever it was, interacted with the air around it, like a disturbance, awake, but created by something unseen.
Wow, okay, that's a leap.
It is. And the final point revolves around how the trace ended. It just stopped after 30 minutes, gone.
So the report suggests maybe it left the atmosphere very quickly.
That's one possibility.
Right.
Or, and this is highly theoretical, of course, something involving a dimensional shift, leaving our perceivable space.
Okay, that's definitely out there territory.
It is, but when you've ruled out the knowns, you start exploring the unknowns, however strange they seem.
So pulling this all together from the report, this sighting over Tuzla on May 7th, 2025, it really doesn't seem to fit neatly into any box, does it?
Not according to this analysis, no. The combination of the vertical structure, the fragmentation, the complete silence, how it just vanished. It's a genuine puzzle.
The report essentially concludes it has to be classified as a UFO, simply because no known natural or man-made phenomenon matches the description.
Yes, and it underscores how such events can really challenge our current understanding of physics and technology.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? You get one detailed observation like this, carefully analyzed, and it suggests there might be things happening that are just beyond what we currently grasp.
It certainly opens the door to questions.
Yeah, it leaves you wondering how many other strange sightings, maybe dismissed too quickly, could actually warrant a closer look with an open mind. What else might be out there, just beyond the edge of our understanding?